Ali Adal has built an empire teaching productivity, and he's created an audience that consumes productivity content instead of actually producing output. They watch videos about getting things done. They don't get things done. They optimize their systems. They don't use their systems. They learn frameworks. They don't apply frameworks. By the end of this video, you'll understand why productivity content creates productivity addiction, why his audience is stuck in permanent optimization mode, and why the content itself is the distraction from the work they're trying to optimize for. This isn't about Ali specifically, he's just the most visible example of someone who scaled a business around helping people be productive while accidentally making them less productive. And the mechanism is structural. Here's what happens when someone discovers Ali's content. They watch a video about time blocking. It makes sense. They feel motivated. They watch another video about Eisenhower matrix. That makes sense too. They feel like they're learning. They watch a video about morning routines. Another one about note-taking systems. Another one about focus techniques. Each video gives them the feeling of productivity without requiring actual production. The dopamine hit of I'm learning how to be productive replaces the dopamine hit of I produce something valuable. And here's the problem. The content is endless. There's always another productivity framework, another optimization, another system to learn. So they stay in consumption mode, forever learning, never applying, not using Ali's content as tools. They're using it as entertainment that makes them feel productive while they're actually just procrastinating with productivity content. The content itself becomes the distraction from doing the work. Here's the pattern Ali's content creates. Someone has the project they need to work on, writing a book, building a business, learning a skill. But before they start, they think, I should optimize my system first. So they watch Ali's videos about productivity. They learn about different note-taking apps. They compare Notion, Obsidian, and Rome. They build elaborate systems. They spend hours setting up their workspace, their task manager, their calendar, their morning routine. And by the time they're done optimizing, they're completely exhausted. The resistance to actually starting the work now is even higher now because they built it up as the thing that requires perfect conditions. So they don't start. They optimize more. Maybe a different app will help. Maybe a different framework. Maybe they missed something in Ali's video about deep work. The optimization becomes the work, and the actual work never happens. This isn't about Ali's advice is wrong. His frameworks are solid. Time blocking works. The Eisenhower matrix works. Morning routines work. But they only work if you use them to do work, not as a replacement for doing work. And his content doesn't filter for that. It attracts people who want to feel productive more than the people who want to produce. Here's what happens as someone consumes more of Ali's content. Video 1, use a simple to-do list. Video 50, build a second brain in Notion. Video 100, integrate your productivity stack across 5 apps. Each video adds complexity, more tools, more systems, more things to maintain. And complexity has a cost. The more sophisticated your productivity system, the more time you spend maintaining the system instead of using it. Someone with a simple text file and timer can be more productive than someone with an elaborate Notion setup, to-do list integration, rescue time tracking, and color-coded calendar blocks. Because the person with the simple system spends 2 minutes on the system and 4 hours doing the work. But the person with the complex system spends 1 hour maintaining the system and 3 hours on the work. But Ali's content scales by adding frameworks, more tools, more sophistication. Because if he just said, make a list and do the things, there's no content engine. So each video introduces something new, and his audience keeps adding. never subtracting, never simplifying. They end up with productivity systems so complex that maintaining the system becomes a full-time job. Here's the other pattern. Ali's audience treats productivity frameworks like Pokemon cards. Gotta catch 'em all. They know about time blocking, Eisenhower matrix, getting things done, Pomodoro technique, eat the frog, 2-minute rule, Parkinson's rule, deep work, shallow work, flow state, second brain. They can explain all of them. They watched videos about all of them. They have notes on all of them. But they don't actually use any of them consistently because they're too busy learning about the next framework. The frameworks become intellectual entertainment, something to know about, not something to apply. And this creates an identity problem. They identify as someone who's into productivity rather than someone who produces things. The identity is built around consumption of productivity content, not production of actual content. Ali's audience feels productive because they're engaged with productivity content, but engagement isn't output. Here's what's actually happening. Ali's built a business model that rewards creating more productivity content, more frameworks, more systems, more videos. His audience consumes that content and feels like they're making progress towards being productive. But the content consumption itself is replacing actual productivity. The business model is keep people engaged with productivity content. The stated goal is help people be more productive. These aren't aligned with being productive, meaning doing less content consumption and more actual work. Every video Ali makes that gets watched is time his audience isn't spending on their actual projects. But his businesses scale on watch time, not on his audience output. There's no feedback loop between person watched my video and person actually became more productive. There's only person watched my video and felt like they were being more productive. And feeling productive is enough to keep watching. They don't need to actually be productive to stay engaged with the content. In fact, the less productive they are, the more they need the content because they're still searching for the system that will finally make them productive. It's a trap disguised as help. So, what can you do about this? You can't fix productivity problems with more productivity content. You can't solve optimization addiction with better frameworks. You can't escape consumption mode by consuming more content about how to stop consuming. Ali's content works if you watch one video, pick one framework, apply it for a month, and never watch productivity content again. But that's not how the content is designed to be consumed. And it's not how the algorithm rewards creators. The algorithm rewards daily uploads, consistent engagement, longer watch times, all of which require keeping people in consumption mode. You can't build a sustainable content business around watch this one video and you're done forever. So Ali keeps making content. His audience keeps watching. And the gap between learning about productivity and actually being productive keeps growing. Most people won't acknowledge this because acknowledging it means admitting that productivity content is the problem, not the solution. But at least you know now why you have 47 productivity videos in your watch later playlist and none of your actual products are finished. It's not that you haven't found the right system yet. It's that looking for the right system is what's preventing you from doing the work.